I'm early today. Yeah, I'm a few minutes early because I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna start getting prepared here. So thank you guys for already sending me the likes and stuff. And hey, Burger Boy, what's up? I don't know. I've heard some people say that you're a gang stalker, but so far I haven't seen any like bad comments from you yet. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, pretty much, I'm gonna be honest that I honestly, I'm gonna be honest here that I know that there are a lot of people out here that are not real TIs. There truly are. I'm gonna be honest that on my page, yeah, I do have a few people on my page that aren't real TIs, and their page kind of seems like it doesn't have anything on it, and I still, they still subscribe and comment, and I don't mind it. I mean, I don't mind it at all, but I do know who the true real TIs out here are. It's just seeing that. Yeah, so today is a rainy day, guys. It's raining outside. So I thought I would do a live stream because I start working tomorrow, so that's when I'm starting the training and everything. So I'm just waiting for waiting for you guys to arrive, and just got my hippie juice bottle again. And this time I put the let me show you guys. I have these things. Hold on, I got something. Let me show you. Okay, I got these elderberry blast something. I got these at Walmart one day. They were on sale and clearance, so I'm like, oh, let me just get those. And it has all the vitamins in it. It's got vitamin A, magnesium. It's got zinc. It's got selenium, potassium, and then I think it has vitamin D. Oh yeah, it has vitamin D. It's got 100% of that. So that was like one of the main things. It has ashwagandha too and stuff like that, L-glutamine. So I just got this for like my immune system. And so far I don't take this every single day, but I take it just as a precaution, like in case if I feel sick. Oh, look at that. We got a gang stalker right outside the door as usual. See, I know that during this whole live that they're going to be just doing this over and over and over. The thing that kind of sucks is I kind of wish they had blinds on the window, because I'm going to be dealing with people doing this most likely the whole time that I'm trying to do this live stream. They keep coming near me with their directed energy weapons and their dark energy. They have a really dark and evil energy. It's so evil. Really evil, dark energy. And, they're going to just work as hard as they can to interrupt this live stream because they're so obsessed, so jealous. Just pure jealousy. Just pure jealousy, obsession, and yeah. So I got to deal with these demons out here with their dark energy causing me headaches while I'm trying to do the live stream. But you know what? It is what it is. Because we're going to talk about many, many things today during this live stream. So it's all cool. It's all chill. I'm going to ignore these dark-ass, sorry-ass demons, these miserable pieces of low-life shit that don't have anything to do with their lives any day other than follow me around everywhere I go, parking lots, the library, and just going to stand out there and pretend to look at books. That's all they do, is they just pretend to look at books all day. That's all they do, is they just get around wherever they can get close to me, pretend to look at books, come sit next to me, not give me any space. That's just all they do. Like, they have an obsession with us. Like, it really is an obsession. Specifically with me, it seems like they just like constantly want to just be in my space and be around me. It's so stupid. So watch this right here. So it's like, here I am. I just started my live. I got to deal with gang stalking right now. So what they do is they just like to pretend to read a book, like while they're standing up. Like, they'll just start reading it right here so I cannot have any space or peace during my live stream. Of course, this is the shit that they do. So we'll just start talking about it. We're going to actually start talking about this terrorism. I might actually start with that first. I'm going to start talking about that. But first, I'm going to go ahead and start talking about, let me see, I'm just kind of got my stuff written down here, trying to make it as organized as possible. So, just trying to wait, sorry. Because this person is agitating me. They're hitting me with these directed energy weapons right now, so I basically can't even barely, like, focus. Like, it's just all being done on purpose, so yeah, this is what they do. So I'm going to see if I can just take my umbrella. Hold on, I'm just going to take this umbrella so I can not even have to look at this person. Perfect. Perfect. I have a shield from seeing this person, having this sick fucking, because this is what they do all day. They just do this all day. So I can just now block having to see this demon because they're dark energy, whatever the fuck. So you have to keep it like this for a minute. Okay. So anyways, I wanted to go ahead and get started here. So first I'll start talking about little things while more people, go ahead and arrive here. It's ridiculous that I even have to fucking do this shit. It's ridiculous. But no, because they have an obsession with doing this dumb shit, and I'm going to start talking about that because today I'm ready to talk about a lot of shit in this video. I don't give a fuck like what people think, what people say, whatever. Because I'm about to start talking about these fucking devils. I'm really about to start talking about them. So, anyways, I wanted to talk about, first I'm going to start out by talking about, so one thing to talk about here is I am an empath. I'm very sensitive. So I feel people's energy very, very, very strong. So even if someone doesn't have a directed energy weapon or whatever, I feel energy really strong. So pretty much if someone's around me and has a dark energy, I can feel it. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I can also feel energy through electronics. So be aware of that, because I can know if and when somebody is sending me a dark and evil energy that I do not like. And I do usually keep note and keep track of that, like through electronic devices, like if I'm sending a text or if I'm looking at a video, pretty much I can look at somebody's video and I can feel their energy through the video. I can feel their aura, basically, aura, whatever the hell it's called. So that's one thing to know. So I recently had to kind of, unfortunately, I'm sorry, I had to kind of unsubscribe to you, Targeted Individual Strikes Back, because yeah, so I kind of ended up getting a lot of comments from you, and then I know that you kind of sent me a comment and you said, hey, I think your targeting is just about as bad as mine, and this and that. It's kind of like, no, sorry, honey, but my targeting is 20 times worse than yours. I actually am homeless. I've never had a home. I don't get pain medication. No, doctors won't prescribe me anything for pain. They don't prescribe, a real targeted individual does not get prescribed anything for pain. You are left to suffer. I mean, I'm talking straight Nazi style stuff, that they will not give me anything for pain when I'm even in acute pain. Just a few pills when I'm in acute pain. So a real targeted individual, no, your medical records, if they really are being altered and stuff, this is what will be done. They will not give you anything for pain or anything like that. They will alter your medical records. So your medical records may not even be altered if you are still getting pain medication from doctors. No. And yeah, so, homeless, honestly, the homeless are there's targeting, there's different levels to this targeting, but the homeless are the most targeted individual, like I'm talking the most targeted. Yeah, there are targeted individuals that still live in houses and stuff like that, but homeless are actually the most targeted. So yeah, so thankfully this demon left, so let me go ahead and put this umbrella down. I don't want to even see them. I don't want them in my face, and I don't want to see them. So yeah, so I also another thing was I also was feeling an energy. Yeah, I was feeling an energy, and that's one thing that I noticed about people. I'm going to talk about that. I'm talk a little bit about my past here. So I've had a lot of people in my life that usually it seems like they like to, I notice this with a lot of people that do this, and I know I've seen it done to a lot of people where people will, they'll kind of like ignore you at times, and then they'll pop up out the woodwork and stuff like that. I don't operate like that, and I had to cut out a lot of people like that, that were like that were, trying to pop in and out of my life. I don't play that shit. So there's a reason why a lot of people are gang stalking and targeting me, because I don't play that shit. I don't play this sometimey stuff. I don't play this like, oh, one day somebody's in this mood or whatever. I don't play that kind of stuff. I really don't. I'm the same person I am every day. I'm just a calm, nice, calm person. I don't, that kind of stuff, the sometimey shit, like I don't do that kind of stuff, because it was kind of like weird, because it's kind of ignoring me, and the next time I'm getting all the blown up and stuff. That's what people usually do to me a lot. I don't know, it's so weird. So speaking about that, anyways, so growing up, I want to kind of talk about this a minute before I talk into my more of these alien experience and these other topics going on. So it kind of does tie into alien experience. So when I grew up with my mother was extremely, extremely abusive. I had a very, very rough childhood, and I understand, and from what I've understand and what I've heard, a lot of people that are in this program and that have been in this program have had similar childhood experiences, like molestation and stuff like that. Usually in child abuse, I guess it usually is, I think, intertwined in this program. And if you're from a like cult family, like I had to realize that my whole family like practices Satanism, and I didn't even know. I had no idea. I had no idea at all. No idea. So, my whole life, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of my story. I grew up in Culver City, California. Just that area. At first, it was me, my dad, my mom, and then I had told you guys that experience where I was abducted. We were abducted in Nevada. My parents changed towards me. And at that time, after that abduction in Vegas, basically my parents began to fight with each other. They didn't want to be together anymore. It was like all this fighting, like all of a sudden, like my whole normal family was flipped upside down. My parents were violent. They were crazy, just out of control. So my parents ended up splitting up. They were fighting a lot. There was a lot going on. A lot where I guess my mom was like going to clubs. Like there was kind of this thing. I guess my mom felt like my dad was cheating, so she kind of started going out to clubs and stuff. Basically, like in a way to kind of get back at my dad. And meanwhile, like me and my brother were being taken to like Connie's, her friend Connie's house, and we were being taken to my grandmother's house. Like every weekend, my mom had this like thing of going to these clubs to try to like get back at my dad in some kind of way that, oh, like he's making me jealous, going out every night with his friends, so let me go do this. And then meanwhile, like I didn't get to really spend time with my mother. My mother also was addicted to a drug called ephedra. I don't know if you guys have heard of ephedra, but ephedra basically is like meth or cocaine times 1,000. My mother would beat the crap out of us. She would just start hitting us out of nowhere. She was aggressive, like just out of nowhere. She was taking this ephedra stuff to lose weight because I guess that my dad like told her she was fat or something like that, and she started to get like an eating disorder. I don't know what she was doing, but she was going to this like weight loss clinic and seeing this like Chinese doctor. It was this like weight loss clinic. It was weird because it was like this little office, and she would always take me with her all the time. And then she would talk to this doctor, and then she would get all these like ephedra pills, diet pills or whatever. Then they ended up taking these diet pills off the market. But yeah, when she was on these pills, she was crazy, crazy, abusing us, abusive, and just out of control. She ended up losing weight and like getting really skinny and all that on the drug, but whatever. So yeah, our childhood was really rough, and me and my brother were really close together. And then yeah, so the last straw, I guess, was my parents ended up splitting up. Something happened between my mom and my dad. And I guess that apparently my mom was saying that my dad got with a prostitute. I guess he got busted with the police or something like that. And I didn't know what the whole story was, I mean, of what happened, but I just know that there was a lot going on, and it was like, okay, like this is crazy. So basically my parents got in this big fight in front of us, a big fist fight, there was just this big altercation. I remember my mom pulled out a knife like towards my dad. I remember my grandmother coming from like both sides of the family came. And it was crazy. Like us kids, me and my brother were just in shock, just like, oh my God, I can't believe, like we couldn't believe what was going on. It was crazy. Yeah, so I remember it was weird. I remember my uncle and my grandmother showing up, and then my uncle comes in and he just starts like yelling at me. Like, it's like, what the fuck do I have to do with this? I'm a kid. I don't have shit to do with this. What the fuck? Like he started yelling at me, where's Randy? Where's it? He started screaming at me. It's like, no, you need to get the fuck out of my face. I don't know what the fuck you're yelling at me for. I guess he was just so mad at, I guess, whatever's happening to my mother. He started taking it out on me, and it's like, no, I'm a fucking kid. So all my family did my whole life was take out all their problems on me, do all this kind of shit. Things got even worse. So after that day was the day that my parents split up. And my dad left, and he wanted to take us with him, but I guess he couldn't. So my parents split up, and then next thing I know, yeah, I was raised with just my mother. It was just me, my mom, and my brother. So it was just the three of us now. And basically, my dad, she was saying my dad wasn't paying child support or something like that. So she put my dad on child support or whatever. And basically, yeah, so everything changed. My mother was no longer like cooking meals anymore, like no longer cooking food for us anymore. Like she was just taking us to McDonald's, okay? So my brother has a really fast metabolism. He has a really fast metabolism. I mean, my brother is skinny. He can eat anything he wants and he'll just stay skinny. For me, on the other hand, I gained weight. Like my mother was just giving us frozen food and McDonald's. That was all she was giving us. But when my dad was with us, my mom was cooking meals and I was eating healthy and everything was, okay. And then all of a sudden it was just like, we just don't care anymore or whatever, or just something like that, just gave up or I don't know what happened, but I just know like I kind of felt in a way she was beginning to actually start to kind of like, well, I mean, she was like kind of like she'll buy you whatever you want to eat, whatever. It was kind of like, I don't know. I just kind of felt like in a way now looking back, I think kind of like she wasn't really caring about my health or what I ate and stuff. I mean, I was living on cup of noodles, Hot Pockets, and White Castle cheeseburgers, and McDonald's. I mean, I would be at McDonald's, like I just only ate junk food. I mean, on top of that, I didn't like healthy food really anyways, but I also was gaining weight due to her abusing me at the same time. So she was taking out a lot of the abuse on me and stuff. And she would always say, you know, like, you remind me of your dad. And basically she always says that I look like my dad. And there was always this like jealousy that my mother had. And I knew my mother had jealousy of my hair. That was what it was about, because she always would do my hair. I remember her always just like braiding my hair, touching my hair. And then she would always say, oh my God, I wish I had your hair. Your hair is so beautiful. And basically she put me into an all Jewish school because she didn't want me to go to a Black school, because she thought that I was gonna get beat up by other Black girls had I gone to a school with my own race. Because I guess that she has some trauma. I guess maybe when she was in school, she had some like confrontations or something with Black girls or something like that. So through all this, I ended up just gaining weight. My mother was very abusive to me, said just would gaslight me a lot, very narcissistic, very controlling. Throughout my life, even as a kid, I just remember her just always just slapping me across the face for no reason at all. Like she would say like, oh, like, I don't like the way you looked at me, or I don't like the way you said that word, like the way you talk. And it's like just kind of like walking on eggshells. Like if she felt that my tone was wrong, and it's like, I'm a fucking kid and you're abusing and beating the shit out of an innocent kid because you feel she was paranoid. My mother actually has a severe mental illness. She is bipolar, I strongly believe. But you know what's crazy? Let me tell you more in this story. So I ended up becoming depressed and becoming even suicidal due to all of her abuse, all of the control, everything she was doing. She was even controlling me from having friends at school. So I became depressed. So her and my grandmother got involved in like getting me to see a therapist and getting me put on antidepressant medications at 16 years old. So I started taking these antidepressant medications, and yeah, I just remember like they made me actually feel even worse. And it wasn't even something that I even needed, due to the fact that my mother was an abuser, and my depression and all the feelings that I had at 13 years old were environmental due to her mentally ill abuse. Like my mother, her mood would just change out of nowhere. Like just, you wouldn't even know like what you did or anything. You couldn't be just sitting there not even doing anything. She would just start like yelling at you, bitching at you, and just hit you. Like she was mentally ill. She had a mental illness. So fast forward to that. So at 16 years old, after the abuse, years and years of more abuse, I became more and more depressed. So I became suicidal. I had suicidal thoughts. So she hooked me up to go seeing this Chinese therapist. No, not Chinese psychiatrist. Her name is Dr. Julia Lam. And see if you could look her up, Julia Lam, Lam. And she works in over there in West LA in California. And she has a lot of bad reviews, and she has committed a lot of crime towards other people, where pretty much once you sign up to go see this Dr. Julia Lam, you instantly get put into a mental hospital just instantly. That's the way that Julia Lam operates, to where any patient that joins her and gets started, if you're not already on medication, her protocol is to have you instantly put into a mental asylum. Come to find out later on, fast forward, she ended up doing that to my grandmother's friend named Renee. Yeah. So her reviews, she only has 2 stars of reviews, and she's a psychiatrist here in America, and she's straight from motherfucking China, a Chinese fucking communist bitch. So I had all this stuff done to me. So she was giving me a different medication every single week. I was diagnosed bipolar disorder when my mother was the real one who really was bipolar and really mentally ill, as well as my grandmother. Now, growing up throughout my whole life, my grandmother was a hoarder. I'm talking, should be on that TV show Hoarders. I mean, I'm talking a whole fridge full of food that is expired about, I want to say 3 to 4 years. I'm talking that I was so traumatized. One day as a kid, I remember going and opening up some Cool Whip. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get some Cool Whip, some food out the fridge. I opened up this thing of Cool Whip. The whole thing is green. I opened it up as a kid. I just screamed. I screamed. It scared the living shit out of me. The stench in the house was unbelievable. Cat shit everywhere, garbage litter everywhere. And here's the crazy thing. My grandmother actually became a licensed marriage family therapist, because nobody knows the truth of what her house looks like and how mentally ill she is. Her house is so filthy that my uncle, the dust was so bad. My uncle actually ended up almost dying from an asthma attack. He had to be hospitalized for about 2 weeks. He had to actually have he had to be put to sleep. He almost died. He had to be put on life support due to her filthy house. And she has been working to diagnose me as mentally ill. Her and my mother have been first they started out calling my father mentally ill, calling my father bipolar. So they're saying that my bipolar disorder comes directly from my dad. And it's like, okay, well, first of all, you've been abusing me my whole life, hitting me and hitting my brother. She would hit my brother sometimes, but not really. She would mostly hit me. And what happened with my dad, like what she did was she made it to where she got my brother to start to hate me. So when I was about 8 years old, through the age of about 8 to about 11, she had my brother beating me with the belt for no reason. Like my brother would just start beating me with the belt and she would allow it. And I did not even do anything to any of them. I was treated like garbage by this whole family. This whole fucking family. And they all deserve karma. All these years I've been praying for justice. They never even got any karma at all, basically. I mean, my mom they kind of have gotten some karma, like their cars have fucked up and stuff later on, but they really do need karma. They really do. So getting more into that story, yeah. So during all that happening, you know, I realized my mother was doing witchcraft on me. She was doing witchcraft on me. I realized, oh my God, I also had been being abducted at the same time. I've been being abducted by these reptilians at the same time. And this all started also when I was on these psychiatric medications as well. I started to deal with these first, it all was even going on even when I was it started about the age 4 years old that all these gray aliens they would start coming at night. And I just remember always waking up with nosebleeds, like me and my brother. So I think they were getting to my brother in bed too. Like they were probing stuff in our noses at night. Like sometimes they would just do a night visit where they'd come and just stick something into my nose and I would see them and then they would just like leave. Or they usually would just take me, they would do all kind of like stimulation, like torture experiments. Like, I mean, they put me into a cardboard box, like full of roaches to scare the shit out of me. There were all kind of torturous things, but then they would also do these kind of, as I'd mentioned, these like magical kind of like abductions where they kind of give me these like good experiences, but most of it was on a demonic level. And I was being used for, I had my eggs harvested. I was having other kind of experimentations done on me throughout all of this. Now, at the age of 16, going back to that story, that was when I had ended up being made pregnant somehow. I don't know. I remember having this dream that there was this guy that I was in school. I had a crush on this guy named Jonathan or something like that. So it was weird. I had this dream one night. And yeah, going back to the stories, fast forward, you know, I had this dream that he was having sex with me. And I guess it was really real that some entity must have been having sex with me at night. So I guess I had been pregnant all along, did not even realize it. And the next thing I know, I was seeing this therapist named Devera Jackson Carver, and she has dreadlocks. She's like dark skin, Caribbean or something like that. And I really trusted her. I really thought, oh my God, this is great. I have a therapist who's Black, who I can trust, who I could talk to through all the abuse I'm going through, all the school bullying and stuff. So I thought, oh, okay, that's good. So I trusted her. And then one day I suddenly went into that labor. And I remember being transported to the ship, and she was in like alien form. She was speaking to me, talking to me, and I had the baby, and she was telling me really how I could not keep this baby, and I really wanted to keep it. I was 16 years old. I didn't know what was going on. I just knew I had this baby. It was just like in my arms, and I was on the ship. And that's not, I'm not going to get too much more into that because I already had spoken about that. And I want to like, you know, keep the live on, you know, these other topics here. So fast forward that story. Yeah. So after that had happened, I, you know, remember just being stunned. Something after having this baby had changed me. So I ended up getting postpartum depression, I believe now looking back. So I ended up becoming suicidal. They put me into a mental hospital again. And yeah, so I remember Devera coming and visiting me in the mental hospital, and she visited me and stuff. And, you know, I just looking back, I just think how sick it is, how sick of what was done to me, that first of all, I had this all done to me. And then I was put into a mental asylum for them basically using me to have a child and using me as a surrogate against my will. I've been used as a surrogate against my will since the age of 6 years old. So at 6 years old, that's when I had my first baby. And then my next one, I had another one at, I believe, 13 years old. There were many times that my weight was fluctuating throughout my childhood and teens. And I was so hungry all the time. And the hunger, I think, was also a combination of my mother doing witchcraft on me, because my mother wanted me to be obese. She really could not stand my hair and my looks. So she was doing witchcraft on me as well to make me obese, to mess with my appearance. And getting more into that, she has done things to my appearance as well. Like she was doing some kind of spells to mess to cause me like breakouts on my skin, as well as the medications that they were giving me, trying to, you know, disfigure my appearance in any kind of way that she could, basically. Yeah, so that was my sort of all that was all the abuse that I went through. So it's been going on for a long time. And I realized, yeah, my mother was doing witchcraft to keep people to stay away from me, to not be my friend, and to keep me isolated and controlled. She just had this obsession with just controlling me completely. And she very much is involved in these abductions, because I'm going to tell you the truth that there were actually 2 times that I had gone into sudden labor. And I remember just being in the back room of the house with my mother. I was just like in the back room. And then I just, boom, I went into sudden labor. Next thing I know, I had seen my mother. She had the device in her hand. And then, boom, a light was flashed at me. Suddenly, I was transported to the ship. I was suddenly transported to the ship. And I remember something like that also happening with my grandmother. So my mother and grandmother are non-human entities. They are not human. And I have known for a while that they are not human by looking at their eyes, looking at their facial features, looking at the foods they eat and their certain actions and behaviors. They never loved me at all. They never did. This is just, it's all about just knowing that I'm a star seed, because they know what star seeds are coming through. This was just about getting control of a star seed, controlling a star seed, trying to mess with my destiny, mess with everything, control me and F me up. And, it's really a sad situation. It's really a sad situation. So at about, age in my 20s and stuff, that's when my mother began to start to install these devices within the house. She installed this Sentrol system, look up Sentrol, Sentrol. They are a company, and I believe they create these directed energy weapons. They create video cameras, alarms. So that was installed now in the back room on top of the ceiling. So I look at that and I'm like, that's weird. So I know I get back to the room, she's kind of just smiling at me. Oh, hi, like acting all friendly and stuff. And I'm like looking at the ceiling, looking at it. I didn't say anything, but it's like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. So you think you're going to install cameras in here because you're getting mentally ill and paranoid. So I began to realize that my mother was using drugs now as an adult. I started to notice that her nose would bleed randomly at times. And I thought that's kind of weird. I would notice her sniffing sometimes. Then I began to start to notice her nodding off. Like she would be kind of just like, we would be, because we'd always talk, like we would sit on the bed while we talk. And then I remember her always, there were many times that she was just like, when someone's like on heroin or opioids or something, she would just kind of like that. And I kind of thought, that's really weird. That's weird. It's like, why is she getting these nosebleeds? What's going on with her? That's really weird. So I kind of thought that's strange. So, yeah, I think she had to have been on drugs, doing drugs or something like that. And I know that this was at the time I was starting to get really targeted. And it really was like, okay, shit. So my mom's on drugs. Like, oh my God, like something's going on here. She must be on something or something. Because the strange thing is my whole life, my mother always had money issues. It always was, I'm broke. I have all these money issues. I have all these money problems. And it's kind of like, I just never understood it. I never understood, but now I understand that she's been using drugs my whole life. And that's why she always had these money issues, never had money, always had these money problems, because she was using drugs behind our backs and snorting drugs or whatever she was doing. I don't know, but she always was broke, always needed to borrow money from us. Had my brother loan her $1,000, had us all loan her. My grandma had even said, I've given her about $10,000 and never gotten anything back. Like basically over the years, my grandmother has spent about, giving her about $10,000 or so. And, so there would just always be this recurring money problems, just like I never really understood. So I, of course, begun to get my own job and, my own jobs and save up money. And I noticed whenever I'd save up money, it'd always be like, oh my God, I'm broke. Can I borrow money? And it's not. I started to get really sick of it. I got really tired of it, really tired. So one day, she started, asking me, oh, hey, like, can you, what she would do something really manipulative. So she tries to invite me to the beach with my sister and her. And this is before I left California. So she tries to invite me to the beach, and I guess that was a fake coy so that they can get me to the beach, try to get me in, because they know I love the beach. Like, oh, let's get her down there, and then we'll ask her to loan me $300. So that was the goal. So I was like, oh no, I think I canceled the beach. Like I didn't end up going with them. So then she ends up, asking me to borrow the money, because it was like, oh, I'm not going to the beach. So now I'm just gonna straight out ask you, oh, let me borrow $300. And I was just like, no, like, I'm not going to do it. I just had gotten a big chunk of money that was some back pay that I'd gotten from Social Security. And basically she was very angry, I guess, or something, because something had gotten wrong or whatever, because basically this hacking, all this kind of hacking bullshit or something like that. So yes, she was mad about that I didn't want to loan her the money. So I didn't want to loan her the money. So guess what happens next? I end up in the hospital that day. All of a sudden, this one side of my back is hurting really, really bad. So there's this recurring thing of the one side of my back hurting. Earlier, my mother was either doing witchcraft, using a directed energy weapon, or poisons in my food. And that was what was causing that, because I would have to go to the ER every time. So I have like basically medical debt through all the poisonings that my mother has done through my life, because she was sickening me all through childhood. I remember her always getting these FedEx packages all the time. She'd always get these FedEx packages, and then I would get some like food or something. And then I remember being sick. I had so many days that I couldn't go to school because I was being poisoned by my mother, getting this like food poisoning. I'd be just throwing up and all this kind of stuff. And my grandmother, I guess, abused my mother. And it kind of has been, I guess, maybe like a cycle where my grandmother was also abused by her mother. And they're from Massachusetts. And I know that there's witchcraft involved in that state, and there's something going on with them. Like they have cats too. I think they're on some witchcraft stuff, and there's some mental abuse and really bad trauma on that side of the family. So that's a little bit of my story of that whole situation with my mother, and the fact that what was done to me here with I had these babies taken to me, and they know that putting this mental illness on me, that okay, we can get away with doing this. We can start to begin to use her and force her to have these babies and take the babies away and stuff like that. And this is actually, it's crazy. The crazy thing is they actually used to do this to Black women as slaves. Was they would do all kind of experimentations, get Black women pregnant, do this kind of stuff. So all the stuff that was still going on back then is still going on today. It still is going on today. And instead of hitting us with the whip, they're just using these directed energy weapons, using this technology to try to physically harm us instead of putting their hands on us. Because the truth is, they know that they can't put our hands on us. My bloodline was never enslaved. The truth is that you're going to realize this, that they want you to believe that you were enslaved. That's one of the things that they really have done, is they want us to believe that we were enslaved. But the truth is that we were not. Because the truth is, motherfucker, if they try to do this shit that they were doing back then, now this shit will not happen with this, because this star seeds that have come out in 1990s, they know who we are. Basically, once all of the star seeds that have come out, because I think 1990, I heard 1990 is the year that many star seeds were born. So they know who we are from our past lives. They know. Like, honestly, I'm gonna be fully honest. I don't know if you guys encounter this too, but when these motherfuckers come and try to mess with you or whatever, I've noticed them come. If I get like near them in a way, if they start to, I've seen them flinch around me. I've had many people flinch around me and be very, very scared of me physically. The truth is that these people are very, very afraid of us physically. They know physically what we can do. And this is why this shit that they were doing back then, this hanging shit, this whipping shit, that shit will not happen today. It will not happen at all. And that shit is about to all end. That shit will not happen. It will not, because they want us to believe that so that they can put us in our head, so that they can try to enslave us or something. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen the way that they think that it's good, that it's going to happen. Now, talking more about that, let me go back to, hold on 1 moment. So yeah, so basically during with what happened with my mother and everything that I got with my mother in my whole life, I was in a very low vibration. I was in a very low vibration, very low. Now, my worst point in my life was I was 312 pounds. And I remember this was, basically I remember Obama being president. I remember, oh my God, I was so excited. So Obama became president. I remember I don't know, everything kind of changed for me. Then I started to get closer to God. I started this garden. We ended up moving to a different house, so I was able to build this garden. So I started this garden, and I changed my whole life around, and I changed my vibration, changed everything. I lost weight for the first time in my life, and I had asked God. I had asked God for the help. I also was having a short time in my life where I was having PTSD from my child molestation. I was drinking. I was in really bad shape. I really was. I honestly, I was trying to die any way that I could die. Like, I was at the point, I was in my early 20s. And it was like any drug I could get. If a drug was offered to me, it's like, oh God, I'll take it. I never ended up taking drugs or anything, but if it was offered to me at the time, I was like, oh God, I'll take it. So I ended up, I couldn't get drugs. I was a loner and whatever because of my mom. So I just ended up like getting stuff from a smoke shop. I got some salvia stuff, like, little trying to, experiment stuff like that. It's not a real, it's not like LSD or real drug or something like that. So I just had a really bad time. So I ended up getting my shit together finally for the first time in my life, healing my extreme PTSD. I had extreme PTSD. I mean, I was having symptoms of like borderline personality, like horrible mood changes. It was unbelievable. But I know that some of the mental stuff that was being done was witchcraft also being done, voodoo and stuff being done, because my father is from Louisiana. So I believe that my dad also was doing witchcraft on me too. Honestly, I'm gonna say both sides. I think do not like, both sides of the family don't like me. I'm just gonna be fully honest. And yeah, my dad's side, I don't know if they do witchcraft. I do not know, but I know that they're from like Louisiana. They're Creole and have, you know, ties with, I'm pretty sure like Obia and stuff like that. And then I know my mom's side, like she lived in St. Croix for a while and she knows like Caribbeans, like Caribbean stuff or whatever. So they might know Obia too. I don't know, but I just know I had to realize and wake up that, okay, my family's involved in doing witchcraft on me and stuff like that. So yeah, so I was in this low vibration, obese, all this, and then I finally healed. Like it took me about a while to heal, but I did it. I finally did it. And once I healed, once I lost the weight, I went from 312 pounds. Once I got down to 200 pounds, then my targeting, this gang stalking began. They tried to kill me. They tried to murder me at the hospital. I don't know. I think I shared that story, how they poisoned me. They did something to my food when I went out to eat with my grandmother. I'm pretty sure my grandmother was involved in doing that because she's the one who took me out to the food and took me to this like really fancy restaurant. And next thing I know, I end up in the ER. And then yeah, it was really, so I know that my family was involved trying to kill me. I know my grandmother was really jealous. She made it clear to me like, oh, you think you're the shit now that you lost weight? Because basically my whole family was obese now. Like what happened was my grandmother was always big when I, like, you know, growing up, she always was big, but now she was like even bigger. And I guess she didn't like that I wasn't going to go out to eat with her anymore and eat this junk food and condone, and you know, because we were going out to eat all the time. We were, you know, and I loved food. I always loved food and stuff, but I was changing my whole life, getting healthy. And I guess she didn't like that. She didn't like that I wasn't like hanging out with her anymore, because our whole relationship kind of involved around food. So I stopped eating with her and all that, because I'm not trying to eat junk food. And plus they were poisoning my food and stuff sometimes at these restaurants. And I realized that all my life, that, oh my God, sometimes like my food was being poisoned a lot. And I was being made sick my whole life through getting food. But I was, you know, I didn't care. I just wanted good tasting food. So I don't know. I guess I just didn't even realize it or think about it. So yeah, so that was the story of that. And man, it really, it was a lot. It was a lot of abuse that I'd been through. And it also did affect my mental state and stuff. So I finally healed. And then, yeah, basically my family like turned against me. They tried to kind of after a while act like they were proud of me. And then I remember them all trying to get on this like weight loss journey all of a sudden. Like they were trying to like get on this sudden weight loss journey. I guess they saw like, oh my God, like you lost weight, now let's get on this journey. But they really were jealous. That's when my mother started installing all the directed energy, all the torture stuff, and doing all this evil sick shit. Just evil cruel shit. And then it also was, the next thing I know, once I had lost weight, then I was you know, seeing that John guy, the guy named John or whatever. And then all of a sudden, like once I got to 220 pounds, because I was already on this weight loss journey, but him kind of saying that little fucked up little comment to me kind of made me speed up. You know, at the gym, I was really working my ass off. And then I lost weight. And then he was like, oh, you look good or whatever. But then he started becoming like a covert little asshole. And then he just stopped talking to me one day. And it's like, oh, okay. So I guess I lost weight and this weight loss and I'm looking good now. So me looking good now, I'll go take that to another guy. Yeah. So that's exactly what has happened. But the crazy thing is, then has been stalking me for 7 years. So basically I had been fat my whole life, 300 pounds, and then I lose weight. And then now look at that. I can't even meet anybody to date due to this piece of shit stalking me and so obsessed with me meeting somebody else or whatever. So that's my whole story of that. And it's pretty crazy. It is. So yeah, so thank you guys all for arriving. I'm so glad to see you all here. Sorry, I kind of was talking about all that with the family stuff, and then I'm going to get into another topic now, but I'm going to check to see if you guys are saying anything on here. Okay, I haven't got anything on there, but that's okay. So yeah, so that all happened with that. And you know, so I know that many of the things with this alien human hybrid breeding program thing, that's usually one of the things that they will do to women, is they make sure to label the woman mentally ill so that they can discredit her from, you know, telling the truth that, okay, I was part of this breeding program and made to breed these children. Now, yeah, so I'm going to speak a little more about that. So with the brown reptile, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the medical stuff that I dealt with. So I just remember many of the times I was transported to this ship and into this medical room. And yeah, it was a medical room, you know, it just looked like a doctor's kind of office, hospital room kind of thing or whatever. And I just remember sometimes they would induce me. They would put a IV into my arm. I guess they would know when the labor was coming. They always knew specifically when the labor was coming and stuff like that. And they would transport me to the ship. Somehow they would, I remember one day them coming through the ceiling somehow, and then boom, they just, flash that light, and boom, next thing you're on the ship. Like it's just like that. It's that fast. So I remember one day they had to manually break my water, and that was the scariest day of my life. I was horrified. I was really scared. There was like a bunch of these doctors around me, but they were in human alien form. They were like hybrids. Like many of them had this look where they had alienish features, but then they had human features. So like I noticed that their eyes, like usually, as I mentioned, one eye would go to the side. So like Sarah Huckabee Sanders is a perfect example. The way that her eyes go, the way that she looks, it was basically like a hybrid kind of, yeah. So that's what they mostly look like. So they spoke to me, and they were like, we got to manually break your water. So they stuck some stick in. I remember just being scared for my whole, every time that I was taking this ship and put through this, I was horrified. Like just, it was horrible. And I just remember every time getting the ship, oh great, I would just dread it. Like once I would get on the ship, it's like, oh God, here I am going to be tortured and harmed. There's nothing I could do. And I knew that this was going on all the time, but I just didn't, like, in my subconscious mind, I think it just was all pushed so far back, but I just couldn't remember at the moment in daytime, like, regular life or whatever, like that just, it was crazy. So yeah, so I remember many times I was in this hospital, I was given no food or water. They don't have food or water up there for humans. They don't have any of that. I remember also being put through stimulation exercises at the same time, like these, they, hook up your brain to whatever to have you see images and stuff like that, especially usually when they were doing these torturous type of procedures. They actually one time, he put like a screen, and I would see like dolphins jumping, I guess, in a way to try to calm me down during all this stuff that he had installed, all these implants. It was during this implantation installation that he began trying to, because it was so painful, the kind of stuff that was done to the back of my head, doing things to like my vertebrae and just all kind of stuff. I mean, organs, sticking probes and implants in me. And that was one of the most torturous days of my life. So I've been put through severe pain and severe torture. These beings do not have any empathy at all. They don't have feelings. So if you tell them that something's hurting and that they're hurting you, they're not going to stop. They don't stop, and they will not stop. They won't stop. If something is harming you and you say, please stop, no, you are on a bed being probed and harmed in horror and begging and pleading for mercy. They don't care. They don't care how many times you tell them to stop. These are Nazis. They don't give a shit how much they're torturing you and harming you. So I remember having also skin tags on my vagina, I guess was what it was from the pregnancy. So it was after I had this pregnancy. I remember I had been giving birth to the placenta thing or whatever had to come out. And I kind of had to learn all this stuff. I didn't know anything about babies or pregnancies or any of this stuff. I, had to learn all this stuff after I realized, oh, all this shit happened to me. Oh my God. So I remember these skin tag things, and the Brown Reptile was saying that I had these skin tags. And see, look at this creep. Look at this fucking creep here watching me. Look at this fucking sick shit. Look at this fucking, I'm gonna stick my middle finger up at you, motherfucker. It's like, yeah. So anyway, so these tags, he had to tie them off, I guess. It was some kind of tag or mole or something, and I guess part of pregnancy that you can get around your like vagina or something. So he was like tying these off, and he said they were called skin tag, or I don't know what he said it was called, but I guess it was something to do with like labor or something like that. Something he had to like tie them and remove them off. So usually I'd be sent home like right after the baby was taken is what they would do. The main goal was just accomplishing like getting the baby from me. That was the main goal, was getting the baby. And I just remember one time I was kept actually for like 5 days after I had a C-section surgery, where basically I was transferred to the ship really quick, and then Brown Reptile had to instantly put me into a deep sleep, and he had to do an emergency C-section surgery. There were complications, and I woke up, and I think he said the babies passed away. There were some issues with the babies, and unfortunately, so I just remember the babies coming out with like green. They were green with scales, like green with like brownish scales. They didn't usually cry. I never heard them really make noise. I didn't hear them make noise. I just remember specifically them being like wrapped. They would always wrap the baby in a blanket. Sometimes they'd let me breastfeed the baby. I remember the Nazi woman. There was a Nazi woman, and I don't know if they're German. I think they might be German. I don't know, but she had this blonde hair and this blue eyes. German. I think she's German. I don't know, German or Russian. I don't know, but she was a real kind of rude a little bit to me, because she came and she had this one day she had ripped some skin off my knee, because I guess that was what they did to take my DNA to really see what my real bloodline was. And I remember like screaming and being in pain, and I was like, and she just had this like cold look, and she was like, well, you should not cry so much, like something like that. So on this ship, yeah, there are actually Russians also involved as well. There were I met with a Russian guy one day, so it's humans on the ship as well. It's a mix of everybody. Also, is these political people. So this is all, yeah, it all is. You know, people may think, oh my God, it sounds crazy, but no, it really is. It really is going on here. So I'm just gonna go look over here, see what I got here. Yeah, so I think I got all that down on that. And another thing that I did notice, another thing I do want to notice is my mother and my grandmother had a real obsession with the Black race. And I don't understand. So I noticed that my mother and my grandmother really, you know, first of all, we don't even look anything alike. I don't look like my brother either. They actually all look more white. I'm going to be honest, like my grandmother does not even look Black. Like they've been able to even not even pass as Black because they don't look Black at all. So my dad looks Black, but my mother and my grandmother don't. That whole side of the family, they're all very pale. They have Portuguese, and I think Portuguese and Irish descent or something. But yeah, they look. My grandmother and mother look more like 100% like Portuguese, like. And so I know that they've always had this obsession with Black race. You know, I know my grandmother always talking about Black people and all this. And getting older and seeing as an adult, I began to start to notice that they were really obsessed with Black people, and they really were obsessed with kind of like being Black and like Blackness and just Black. But then my mother would say really racist things towards Black people that sounded so like skinhead or Nazi. And it's like, dude, are you really Black? Like, who are you? Like, I couldn't even believe the kind of stuff she would say towards Black race. It was like, whoa, okay. It was weird. So yeah, so then she kind of taught my little sister all that. So that's all that on the family stuff. So I'm gonna talk more. Let's see what we're gonna get into here. So I wanted to talk about some other topics now. So if you guys, by the way, have any questions or anything or comments, let me know in the live if you want to ask me anything also as well. So yeah, so that was my story of being obese and in a low vibration. And you know, I decided to create the Keto Kaya channel to go ahead and try to help other people who you know, were suffering with being obese, because I was obese my whole life. My whole life, I could never lose weight. I just never could do it. I would start a diet for a while, maybe lose some weight, but then I would just fall off, you know, like yo-yo dieting type of thing. And then I finally did it. And it really was through God that helped me, like praying and everything. So everything was great. And then, yeah, 2016, everything just boom. It just flipped into craziness. It was craziness. So yeah, so I you know, took that, and I took as the weight gain was from the witchcraft, as well as the childbirths that were, you know, the pregnancies being extra hungry and weight gain from that. And many of my mental illness was in mental episodes were postpartum depression as well, in combination with my mother abusing me really bad. So yeah, so let's see what I'm gonna get onto here next. So I want to talk about this Sony. Let's get into that. So my so I got some information here. So SME is blocking my video, and I've been looking at other YouTubers, and I'm seeing that so one YouTube was it was so interesting. They made a video, and it was good. It was a video just like a music clip, but yeah, she was saying that this SME company bullies YouTubers. Yeah. So I've seen other people with the same story. I got really upset yesterday. I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like so mad. I was like, man, it honestly makes me kind of almost want to snap, because when somebody stops free speech, it makes me really mad, really, really mad. And I know that's what's going on in this country, and that's what began in 2016. There started to be this like loss of freedom. That's when the freedom started to really, this communism started in 2016, and it only has increased. And now it's at the point where you can't have free speech. So they are purposefully blocking a video that I've already used Jimi Hendrix music in my videos before many times. So it's just what they'll do is, I think if you have a video that they feel that they don't want people to see, or that they just want to bully you, because I've heard other people putting so much work into a video and they were blocked by SME just for either like a 4 seconds of music in the video, or even music of their own music that they created. So basically this SME block is just being put just to be communist, if they don't want to, just communist bullshit. And it really makes me sick. It really does. So, you know, this Sony SME. So Sony, first of all, This is communist company from New York and California. So I ended up calling New York today, calling the Sony. So I call Sony, and the next thing I know, he just gives me a number. He's like, "Oh, call 3100 whatever." So I call this number to Beverly Hills, and then all I get is, I leave a message. So we'll see if they call me back. We'll see if they call me back, and they'll let me just use the music in my video because it doesn't make sense. I've used the music before, and first of all, Sony killed Jimi Hendrix in the first place.
Excuse me. I'm so sorry to interrupt.
Oh, sorry.
I just wanted to let you know that
Oh.
it's not quite as sound.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, I'll be quiet. Thank you. Sorry. Thanks. Yeah, sorry about that. So I'm gonna be quieter. Sorry, because it's just like I'm just very mad about this SME bullshit. It just makes me really, really mad. So yeah, so I'm gonna just be very quiet here. Let me be quiet. Sorry. Yeah, I've had to tell a lot of people to be quiet here, anyways, too, because everywhere I'm going in this fucking library, like they were making noise. So I actually had to tell this guy earlier. I had to tell her to tell this guy to be quiet early, so she did. So that was nice because he was making all this noise. So like, yeah, so now I'm the one making the noise. But my first time making the noise, but everyone else has been making the noise. So anyway, yeah. So Sony, this Sony is a communist company. And look what comes out of Sony. I mean, look at Michael Jackson. Like, I mean, Michael Jackson was kind of like a freak show, like that. That's kind of stuff that Sony works with. Sony is a communist company. And I looked up and I looked at the ties. I looked at now Sony is tied to communist China. Yeah, so China actually owns Sony, and then Sony's owned in New York and California. So, I feel very angry at Sony. It's hard for me to not get my voice loud because it really pisses me off. It really does, because I am pissed. I am really mad, and it's bullshit. Like, this communism has to end. People should not be being censored for their videos. So I heard there's another platform out there that can be used that you can still get your videos out on or whatever, like a different platform. And I think that would be great, is to get another platform to post videos that if they're going to start trying to block and censor my videos, I'm going to have to find somewhere that I could post a video, because that doesn't make any sense. So talking about all of that, let me see what else I have here. One moment. Yeah, so basically I'm getting hit with this. So what I'm trying to do right now is, if you guys have any tips, let me know, because I'm trying to alter the music. I'm trying to see if I can alter it. But I noticed that, okay, here's what happened. So I posted it yesterday and they blocked it after a minute, but then I ended up being able to push it through yesterday and it stayed up there for a while. And I kind of thought, okay, that's weird. So I got a like on it. I thought, oh, okay, everything's fine. They're finally letting me upload, because I just kind of changed the music a little. And the next thing you know, lo and behold, I think maybe I don't know how long after, maybe 10 minutes later, next thing I get this SME block. So I know it's definitely Chief Handler involved. It's somebody that's involved that's purposefully doing it because they don't want the truth to be heard. And because it's just little communist jealous bullying bullshit that I don't have time for. So I'm really going to keep trying to still get this video. I'm keep on trying to alter, fix it so it'll stop doing this. But it just seems like they just don't want the video up there. They just can't stand it. And, it really shows you the truth. It really actually shows you that, there really is classism in this country, that they really, want to censor this. It's crazy. It's so crazy that they're working that hard to censor this video. Really crazy. So that pisses me off. So yesterday I was kind of getting frustrated for a minute. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be fully honest, guys, that yesterday night, I had spent the whole day trying to upload this video, and I honestly felt like I wanted to snap. I really did. I felt like, oh my God, I want to snap, because anything that's communism, loss of freedom of speech, that makes me want to snap. It really does, because nobody's freedom of speech should be stopped. YouTube's been deleting comments. They've been deleting people's comments of free speech. No, everybody's comments should be able to be put there. To me, I feel like, why censor and take stuff away? Because when you censor and take stuff away, that's really scary, and it's communism, because then we can't really see the truth. And it's really communist. It's really, really scary. So I'm going to talk about, let's see what I got here next. So another topic I wanted to really talk about is, so this new COVID variant is here. It's coming out. And I think this one may be the one that's going to get ready to handle these demons. So they're now getting this booster shot ready. They're getting this booster shot ready for the elderly. So this new booster shot, I think, may be the booster shot that maybe can be able to handle these demons this time. Maybe this new variant is going to handle these demons now, because I think that each one of these variants is a new level of tribulation for these demons. Now, Omicron, if you looked at Omicron, you will notice that the remaining number of just about demonic people ended up getting Omicron. Many of these gang stalkers are getting this virus and they are taking this vaccine. So you'll notice that many of these gang stalkers also wear masks too. Not all of them, or not everybody, but most of them do, and most of them have taken this vaccine. So this new COVID variant, I'm interested to see what happens. I really am interested to see how this handles these demons and how it handles these demonic entities. And we're going to see who gets it, because it actually is just the virus is marking them for sure. They're definitely getting marked with this virus and it's crazy because if everybody that I know, a lot of people that I know have gotten the virus, they're either a hybrid, they're either non-human origin, or they are demonic, they do some witchcraft or some unclean behavior. And getting to that, I'd spoken about this virus, how the truth is this virus is coming from unclean behavior. That's the truth. This virus is a spiritual virus, but they don't want people to know that it's a spiritual virus. It's a spiritual virus, and they're also introducing this communism stuff as well. So with this virus being spiritual, what can cause this virus? Let's talk about it. So what can cause this virus? What can cause this virus is doing witchcraft, being racist, eating pork, eating shellfish, eating other unclean foods. Let's see, gambling, drugs, doing unclean behaviors, unhealthy activities, evil in the heart, evil in the spirit. People who do evil, pretty much like this is what this, it's something of the Bible. Like this virus is clearly just something of what's put out in the Bible. And speaking of Bible, I want to talk about the Bible for a minute today. So I was kind of looking at some Bible verses, and I noticed that a lot of these religions really they push for polygamy. They really push for polygamy, but the truth is the real Christian way, the real way of God is just one man and one woman. And I see a lot of stuff out here where a lot of men like to take advantage of what these religions, these religions are all created by men and for men to go ahead and, first of all, disrespect women, because the Bible says for women to submit to a man, and what are these other, take several wives. I think there's all that kind of stuff. All that stuff is actually greed, and it's of Satan. Polygamy is actually greed. And if you commit polygamy, you are actually going to be judged, and you will get this virus. You will be judged and marked. So just letting people know, that's my personal thoughts on polygamy. I am completely against it. I'm completely 100 against polygamy. I believe in a one person union, man and woman only in a union, no cheating, none of that bullshit. So that's what I just believe in. Yeah. Just want to share that. So let's see what else I got here. So so I want to talk about what's been going on lately here in Denver. So it's been crazy. I've been being stalked nonstop everywhere I go. I can't even just sit in a parking lot for 1 minute without a car going by every 2 minutes. And I know that it's jealousy. I know that this is what it's about. I dealt with this kind of hyperactive jealousy back when I was in Los Angeles, and I already know what it's about. I know that first of all, it's also my parents, and it also is an ex, I believe, that is obsessed with me meeting somebody and having a relationship and having sex with somebody, and a relationship where we're having sex and together. That's what it's about. Is this person is obsessed with me and obsessed with the fact that I don't want to have any of these people from the past in my life or anything like that, and they all have been obsessing over me, I guess, and watching me and watching my page. I'm getting like all these fake pages and profiles. So that's all that's about. And it's crazy. It really is crazy. So that's what's going on with that. So I have been kind of noticing a little bit of like police stalking, like just seeing them kind of drive by or like stuff like that, or little kind of stuff, that kind of tells me. But that seems to start in like every area. But then again, it's like, oh, I don't know, maybe they could just be driving by somewhere. It's like, oh, I don't know, I have no idea. But so I start work tomorrow. I'm excited about that, so that's good. So I'll, hopefully my financial situation will get better, because things have been really, really, really hard financially. So hopefully that will, kind of make things better, which I I think that'll be good. Then I can start saving money because yeah, that was one thing is I also kind of had to also move to be on my own so I could start having my own stability, saving my own money. Because living with my mother, I always was broke. I always was, oh my God, I always was hearing about her money problems. She just was draining my energy. And even as a kid growing up, all through my childhood, I had to hear about my mother's money problems, money issues, and I'm broke. And basically, she made me feel like it was my fault that she had to like take care of me and pay for food for me. And like, she said, everything I do for you, and your father doesn't pay child support. And basically, like, she made it feel like I just shouldn't have even been alive or created that. Oh my God, I'm just this like, I shouldn't even be needing food or clothes or anything like that. Like, I always had, gotten. First of all, it's like they didn't even, my brother actually had gotten a GameCube one year. I remember not like really getting anything for Christmas, just evil shit. So, I like having my own independence where everything's organized. I don't have to live with my mother also was hoarding as well. So I like can live, my car right now, of course my car doesn't look perfect because I don't have space, but I'm OCD with things being clean. And when I had gotten to Wyoming, I actually had gotten to a safe house shelter, and they actually know me and know who I am. They know that I'm really OCD clean. I'm not, they know like my real character, but unfortunately I've had these people spreading these lies about me, and it's like, oh my God. So yeah, so that has been that's been the crazy thing is that it's just so many lies spread about me, and stuff like that. So lately I've been luckily I found a like church that I could park at that seems really safe. I feel like there's a very protective energy at this church, and it feels really safe. So I'm gonna probably see if I can maybe like talk to them or something one day, because yeah, because I just need somewhere to park my car while I work a job, a steady parking place. So yeah, so that's what I'm trying to work towards, because it seems that there's just all over Colorado now, everywhere you go, like I think there's gangs. And I wanted to talk about, with my car being shot at and hearing the story the woman told me where she was shot at as well at 12 o'clock. And she had basically, she was almost 2 seconds like grazed with a bullet. And she was like just, older senior woman. And it's like, whoa. So what I'm realizing is, yeah, maybe those gunshots that were, fired at me, shot at me, maybe that was also gang violence because I noticed graffiti on the signs in Winter Park. Like, I'm talking like street signs, like, the sign that shows like the deer, like I saw graffiti on that. So like there was graffiti also between like Sulphur Springs and Granby. So I think it's just gangs everywhere and gunshot stuff. So yeah. So I wanted to talk about now I know this is a controversial topic, but I want to talk about these Asians now. Now I had looked at the news recently, and I saw these Asians are now crying about a homeless shelter being built in Chinatown, right? So we already know that the Asians really hate homeless, and it really is a classism issue here. They really don't like homeless, and they really want the homeless to be removed. And this is also a test that they are doing to see if they can remove homeless and remove minorities, remove the least powerful populations that don't have power. They're testing that out, and that's exactly what they are doing. And they have a strong hate for the homeless, strong hate for the poor, and they're actually really racist. They really are one of the most racist, but they try to pretend that they're not. And so, it really is sad. It really is sad to see that a lot of them are. So, I wanted to talk about that. I want to talk about, so here's what kind of gets me here. Now, they're crying about this new homeless shelter being in Chinatown and stuff like that. To be quite honest, there's a new variant. This new variant actually is coming straight from China, first of all. It's coming right from China. So in Shanghai right now, they're actually locked down in Shanghai with this virus and stuff right now, right? And I'm gonna start talking about these Asians right now, because look at what Sony's doing to me. So I got some shit to say here. I got some stuff to say here. So they're gonna cry about a homeless shelter in Chinatown, but they're coming here and bringing this virus. So to me, move back to Asia. How about that? How about you guys move back to Asia if you really have a problem? But to be the real honest thing that should be done in this country, I'm gonna be real honest. You guys might not like to hear me say this, but to be quite honest, you guys should be put into internment camps. You guys really should be being put into internment camps, because first of all, you're coming here and you're bringing a virus to my country. You're also coming here, you are illegally using technology and directed energy weapons to torture innocent American citizens, not only homeless and Black, but also white as well. Let's see, what else are you guys doing? Let's see. Yeah, that is another thing you guys are doing. There's many things that you guys are doing. You first of all, free speech is ended. See, you're on YouTube, you're on all these social media platforms. We already know you all control all the electronics and that the free speech, everything that the free speech is gone basically. So, the thing about it to me, I feel like is honestly, I'll be fully honest, and I know people around here don't want to hear me say this, but all these like new arrivals, all these illegals should be put into internment camps. Because let's see, we have people coming in from Russia and Ukraine. You don't know what who knows. You don't know if these people are criminals or not, and they need it. Honestly, they need to be kept away from me because they're the ones that are terrorizing me. They've been terrorizing me and stalking me for years. And the thing about it, this is the main problem we have is now there's this whole like the thing is empathy and sympathy can only go so far. And when you know that there's a threat like to your country, like I don't understand like why I don't know why the government is even allowing all these people to just come in here freely from other countries. I just don't understand, because the truth is, just like the Bible says, like with these nations coming against, like this is all nations like coming against all of us that we have to deal with every single day. Every single day we have to deal with this. And you know what? If these Asians don't feel safe in America, because they've already had comments where they have talked about like putting blacks and putting homeless into labor camps, you guys can go into internment camps. That's exactly where you can go. So we can determine which one of you are safe and which ones are not. Same with you Ukrainians and Russians. You can also go into internment camps too. So we can determine which ones of you are safe and which ones of you are not. That's what should be done. You guys should all be held into a facility. All these facilities should be holding these illegal aliens instead of them getting to get free apartments, free homes, free everything. They should all be going into FEMA camps. I'm going to be fully honest. All these illegal aliens, all these foreigners and stuff that are coming here onto our American land need to be put into some kind of big, yeah. But they pretty much, what happens is the government actually pays to let these people into this country, use this electronic research and research on innocent American citizens. And it's really sick. It really is sick. So let's see what else I got here. So, and as well with the virus going on, and I think it's crazy because, the thing is, these people just come freely in the country. They just get dropped off by planes. And, that's how all this stuff is now going on. We now have, first of all, we have plants that are foreign that don't even belong here in the first place, fish in the water. We got like Asian carp, all these plants that are not even native and stuff like that. So, so that's, and I know that may sound cruel, but I'm just gonna be honest, they want to do that to me. They want to put me into a labor camp. Shit, they should put you on a fucking internment camp. That's where they should fucking put you. That's what it really should be. So, so I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to wrap this up soon. I know some people may not like so you may not like me saying that, but you know what? After a while, when people harass and torture you so much and keep on stalking and keep doing this kind of stuff, I really don't care. I really don't, because the truth is, a lot of people, about 80% of people do this gang stalking shit. 80 to no, probably more than that. It's about 90% of people will do this gang stalking communist stuff. They will. So I'm gonna go ahead and see what you guys are saying. Let's see here. Oh, sorry, I missed all your message. Yeah. So here I have a message here from President Trump. Do you plan on ending it soon? End it. Wow. Okay. So first of all, President Trump, you're actually the reason why all these illegal aliens are here in the first place. You brought them straight in from Russia and China because it's your Asian alliance. Yeah. Because let me tell you, who's mostly hurting the Black American? It's you, and Asians. There's a reason why the word is called Asian, because basically, like, let's see, Russia and China, they're next to each other. So you whites are of Caucasian descent, and I'm not talking about all whites. I'm talking about the ones that are doing this gang stalking and using these weapons. You need to leave, and you need to go back to Russia, back to whatever country you originally come from, because you're not going to torture me. You're not going to torture my race. You're not going to torture anybody else. This needs to end. It needs to really end. And, looking at this, President Trump, oh, yeah. So this is Chief Handler's new page, is President Trump. Okay, yeah. So, oh, hey, City of Fullerton gang stalking. I didn't see all that stuff that everyone was here. I didn't see this thing didn't even pop up, but yeah, now I'm getting it. So Says, do you have any experience with commonly known cryptids like Bigfoot, Chupacabra? I haven't had any experiences with that at all. I don't think so. Just the brown reptile. And let's see, how did I go about losing weight specifically? Did you stay motivated to exercise? I would always start around hard time staying consistent. Oh, okay. So, yeah. So when I lost weight, what I did was, I stayed really disciplined. So what I did was what I did was I had to like get this MyFitnessPal thing. It's called MyFitnessPal, and it's like an online thing. You could sign up online, and I strictly did just 12,000 calories a day. Unfortunately, sometimes I kind of ate like under that, but I also was having a gallbladder issue, so I was having like pain and like, but the gallbladder issue is all from being overweight. Like, once you lose weight, your gallbladder gets kind of can get gallstones. So yeah, so I did that. I stayed really disciplined, and God gave me the discipline, I guess, to finally stay disciplined. When I started out first by just only giving myself fast food once a week, and then just eating only the healthy foods that I liked, just healthy food only that I wanted to eat, not anything I didn't like the taste of. And then I started to garden so that I can like kind of get used to the taste of vegetables, because I didn't like all my life I hated vegetables. I did not like them, but I knew why. Now I realize, looking back, I know why I hated vegetables. Like, I should have just been eating a carnivore diet. That was just strictly what I should have just had been eating my whole life. That's how I probably, should be eating now. But actually, I haven't had food for the past like 3 days. I've actually been, on a kind of fasting, but not by, it's just due to the fact that, okay, all this inflation and all the gas prices and all that. So I haven't really ate for the past few days, but oh well. But yeah, I just take it as, okay, it's a reset, my body's reset. So yeah, so I did that to lose weight. And I also used ginger chews. There's something called ginger chews, so I took that to speed up my metabolism. Green tea, and I ate like vegetarian at first. That's what I did. Then I did the keto diet. The keto diet is actually the keto carnivore. Like, those ones are actually the real ones where that you'll lose weight like that. Like, really, that's like the most effective, I'd say. Yeah, so I'd say those are like the best. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm getting this President Trump. You said you were going to end it. You lied. So President Trump, like, what exactly, like, do you want from me? I don't understand. Like, what do you want from me? Because I already know that you're the dragon in human form. So what more do you want to say to me, President Trump? What more do you want to say? Let me know what you want to say, because you're the cause of all the hate in America and all this stuff that's going on right now. And basically all Biden is doing is he's basically like completing your job of this bullshit, it's just ridiculous. Let me talk about this for a minute. So we're going to talk about this Ukraine too. We're going to talk about this Ukraine. So this Ukraine is scamming the whole world, basically, and nobody's even awoke to it. Everybody has sympathy for Ukraine. Oh God. Yeah, the truth is, like, oh, this guy said, oh, that's so nice of you. Thanks. He said that, oh, this guy's a hater. I think the real Donald Trump will appreciate. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm not on any side, like, politically. I'm not like on any side, but I'm going to say that the way that this Biden America is going, I'm going to say it's going even worse. It's like going real bad. And, I'm going to talk about this Ukraine stuff. So first of all, everybody's being scammed. And I'm going to this is probably going to be the last part of my video. I'm going to, explain this and talk about this. So Ukraine is scamming the whole world. This Zelensky guy is scamming the whole world right now. This is a world stage right now. You need to understand that everything that you're seeing on TV is fake. This is an inside job that is being done to Ukraine. They're blowing that shit up on purpose, because what they're going to do is they got all this money. They already have been getting these funds from the United States already. They're going to rebuild that area back into like a former Soviet Union. If you are giving funds and donating to Ukraine, you are donating to Nazis, and you are donating to a new world order and communism. Understand that. Any business that has donated money to Ukraine, I won't even go to anymore. I won't shop at Safeway. I'll never go to Safeway again. I will never go to Starbucks again. There are many businesses that I now am never going to ever shop at again. I will never endorse, and I'll never buy. I'll never buy from you again. I will never walk into Safeway again. And it's funny because Chief Handler tells me, oh, I donated $2,000 to Ukraine and various. Yeah, so you basically donated to communist Nazis, basically. And, the crazy thing to me is it's like nobody's awoke to this. Like, everybody feels all this sympathy from Ukraine, and Zelensky just keeps asking for all this money. It's like, dude, what more do you need? Dude, what more do you need? Let's see, you're getting donations from American grocery stores that are asking me for donations for you. You got PayPal donating money to you. You've already gotten in 2020 about $2 billion from George Soros, and you need more. What more do you need, Zelensky? What more do you need? And on top of that, all these Ukrainians are going to every single other country, and you need more money? Really? Are you kidding me? And they're coming here to America. In America, Biden's already given them $8 million fucking dollars. Are you serious? The shit that is going on in America right now is making me sick. I am absolutely disgusted. And then on top of that, with the video upload shit that I can't upload my video, oh, you don't know how mad I am. And I am really mad that people can't even see this. So it's funny, I was in a chat room the other day and I was talking to, I don't know who, this chat room, I guess, kicked me out because I told the truth about Ukraine and stuff. So this chat room decided to be all communist and kick me out of the chat room. First of all, the UN had to give a warning to blacks in Eastern European countries that these motherfuckers are going to say the N-word, that they're going to terrorize blacks, and that they are going to, let's see what else they're going to do, that they're going to be playing blackface. Why would the UN have to give that warning to Black Americans? I mean, not Black Americans, but these Africans, these other countries. I've heard stories of an African trying to get on the black or whatever, and they just punched the guy just because he was black. I'm not playing. I am not playing. If they think they're going to come do that in America, you're going to get a real rude awakening. If you think you're going to try that with the Black Americans here in America, oh, you're going to get real rude awakening. Real rude freaking awakening. Real rude awakening. You know, and it's interesting because the comments that I've also been seeing is I'm seeing comments that somebody had put something that said like, long live Ukraine, die. So it's like skulls or something. So many of them are neo-Nazis. Okay. Understand? So there's a reason why they're packing them all specifically only. Why are they only packing them into Poland? Why specifically? Why Poland? And why not a bigger country like Asia, or there's plenty of other countries, but why Poland? Why are they packing them all into Poland? Because the truth is, they're getting ready to. These are neo-Nazis. I think it's not. See, the news, they want to display. The news has put on a show. They want to display that, you know, they want to try to make you feel sympathy and show like women and children and stuff like that. But what kind of illegals do we have here now in America? We have just a bunch of men that are showing up. Let's see, we have men showing up from South and Central America that it's just like men on their own and they're like gang members, like. So don't fall for this bullshit and don't donate anything. I would not donate a dime to this Ukraine. If Safeway wants to donate to a cause, you need to donate to have a donation thing for homeless Americans, not this Ukraine bullshit. You know, so that's my thoughts on that, because it is nonsense. It is complete nonsense. It is absolute nonsense, you know. So all I hear is I just hear this Ukraine, oh, sympathy for Ukraine, 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 Ukraine. I don't have any sympathy at all, and I do not care. I do not give a shit at all. I don't care. I have no sympathy, and I don't care. I don't care, because I know exactly what I'm seeing. I know exactly what they're doing. I know it's a scam, and I know when I see a scam. I know when I see something on a world stage. I know when I see it, because now look, pay attention now to look at the fact that now it's saying, oh, basically now that all the money has been sent to Ukraine, now you'll notice that, oh, now Russia and Ukraine are talking about peace talks now, right? So they've been able to divert all this money into Ukraine so that they can go ahead with this plan for this new world order. All it is new world order. That's all it is. That is all it is. It's a new world fucking order. All of it. So, you know, the truth is, these motherfuckers are about to start coming to every country in the whole world, and they're going to start bringing this new world order shit. So it all is really, really scary. The stuff that I'm seeing is coming to the whole world. I mean, it's scary. It is really, really scary. The way that this communism is going and this kind of stuff. And yeah, it's horrible. So I just wanted to go ahead and wrap this up here. I don't know if you guys have any more questions, but yeah, so that was my story of my childhood, which, you know, I'm trying to kind of open up more about these things and open up more about what was done to me. The things very difficult to open up about, but, you know, something very important. So yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up because I'm probably like ready to get out of this study room and stuff like that. And you know, the crazy thing is, you know, I know that some people may not agree with the stuff I say, but I'm the kind of person where I don't give a shit. I say what I feel and what's on my mind. And I don't really care. Like I just don't care like if somebody like opposes or whatever or I that's how everybody I feel should be. Everybody should be an individual, say what's on their mind and express themselves completely. Express how you feel and express what is being done to you because the truth is a lot of stuff is going on here that the news is not talking about. And that there's a reason like why am I being censored? You know, I'm being censored in many kind of ways because when they don't want you to see something, what they'll do is they'll just take it away. And that's usually how holocausts start is they start by censoring people and they start to keep things hidden and they don't want anybody to know. Like that's usually how like stuff works when they're getting ready to start to throw people into concentration camps is they get ready to start first they remove free speech. That's usually how it begins. So everything is like starting to get like escalate in more and more and more because they're getting ready for their plan. And this is all planned, it's all staged. Like if people can't see that Ukraine is letting it's all planned. Like they're destroying it on purpose because they know exactly what they're doing. They know what they're doing. It's all planned. This stuff is all planned because that way they're gonna you know go ahead and get ready they're all the funds are already there everything is all ready to create a whole like global like new world order a new world order type of thing so things may get really crazy yeah things may escalate things may get crazy this gang stock is getting crazier yeah so basically you know just seeing the other day seeing that at the park you know here one came tried to get an attitude with me tried to talk to me and I had to let him know real quick like hey I'm not playing with you we are not playing with you and we will not be playing with you out here. We're not going to play with you out here in America. And if you think that you're going to bring some neo-Nazi shit here, that's not going to happen. Because I already deal with enough Nazis, and if they think they're going to pack in more Nazis and bring their cousins from Ukraine or whatever fuck to try to come be Nazis here, that's not going to happen. It's not. And we have to take a stand against this stuff. We have to. All right, guys, so I'm going to wrap it up. Let me see if you guys said anything else. And then, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to get ready to go here. I have had a long day, and I got to get ready to get started with this job tomorrow. So that's going to be, you know, it actually is. I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about it. It's kind of hard because, you know, I basically, honestly, I'm going to be honest that, yeah, I do kind of want to snap. I do want to just kind of give it all up, just give up completely because they just won't leave me alone. Like, they won't stop messing with me, but I'm trying as hard as I can to hang on. I'm trying as hard as I can, like, and to just stay strong. And I'm just simply trying to work and have a healthy life and just live a normal life. And these people just keep on messing with me nonstop. They just really keep on messing with me. And it's really hard. It's really hard. And I think the thing is that they don't like me exposing the classism and stuff that, so they really have increased their targeting on me the more that I like post videos. And I know that it's just about like shutting me down and trying to stop me, but you know, I'm gonna still keep, you know, posting my videos, doing my lives and trying to stay here. And yeah, they really did actually get me really close to snapping, very close many days. And I know that that's their goal is to get me snapped so they can discredit me and then they can say, oh yeah, like she snaps, yeah, that's how, yeah, black people are crazy, oh she's crazy, and oh she's violent and this and that. I know that's what they're trying to really do, and I'm just trying to stay as strong as I can and handle them in a covert manner, the most like covert kind of way that I can, like handle them in covert ways. And yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get ready to wrap up here and get out this library. And it's been a rainy day, so I've been here. So yeah, so that fucking asshole is back over there, that little fucking asshole from yesterday. So I'm sure his bitch ass probably got up and fucking went and told the librarian, this little fucking asshole, I guess, is here again every single fucking day. Like, yeah, he's got this fucking like little, you know, the backpack with the like hunter print, like military army type of print bullshit. So you already know he's one of these fucking gang stalkers and stuff. So he was already here, already set to gang stalk me. So I'm just like, whatever, you know. And I kind of get a little break in the rain, so that's good. So I'm glad it's raining. I'm glad it's kind of rainy day. So hopefully it'll rain for a few days. I hope it'll rain a lot. It's like, oh my god, I just want it to rain so I can get peace because I can still even hear their stupid planes in the rain, and it's so annoying. It's like, oh my god. All right, guys, so I better get out of this room now, and I hope you guys all have a good day. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I'll talk to you all later.